Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I'm going to go talk about when a person's in a relationship with someone. It could be long-term relationship, marriage, or living together, whatever. And the other person, they find out, they realize, or start to realize, the other person is rather narcissistic, rather toxic. They don't have to be narcissistic, somehow abusive. And in it, they learn, they realize that the person they're in a relationship with, I've seen this. That person doesn't see the relationship in the same way. And I've mentioned these things about when you're in a relationship and you're dating, and the other person doesn't really think that you're dating, and you do. It could be long term. It could be going on for years, and they don't see it that way. And one day they just let you know, they don't. You're not my girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it is. Now that can happen in a marriage too. I mean, you can actually be married to someone, and they don't see it as, because they don't feel love and empathy and caring and all that. As it turns out, they just see it as, what is the term? Marriage for convenience, of convenience. Somebody basically, and as it turns out, that basically they're thinking of somebody who's going to be their maid when it comes down to it. Whether you live together or you're married, that they just think that you're there for their personal secretary, their maid, their, everything. They put it on you. They don't see it as that closeness because they don't have those feelings. Okay, I was looking at my notes, and I should have said that they just see you, they truly see you as their staff. Okay, seriously, can you imagine that being, maybe you're in it. When you're married to someone and they see you as staff. Wow. So, what does the person do? Well, I'm not here to give anybody any kind of advice or, counseling advice, any of that. I'm just thinking myself, what would I do if I were in that situation, that kind of situation, and what would I suggest if I knew somebody, who's in that? Would I make a suggestion to, like a personal friend or a family member, something like that, someone close? Well, I would say, I had a friend that something like this happened. Oh boy. She had 2 kids. It was many years ago. And 2 young kids, and all this happened. But first off, I would suggest to always have a backup plan, a plan B, for anybody in a relationship. I know it's bad if you think, you're going into a relationship and you can't really trust this person. This is the times we live in, though. I know I think some counselors, some people would say that. Counselors or not, would say you can't go into a relationship not trusting that person. Well, as I just said, now I'm a sociologist. My master's is in sociology, and I would say, anyway, I've had degrees in both psychology and sociology. But anyway, so I would say, have a backup plan, plan B. Where would you go if something happened in the relationship? Do you have cash of your own, money of your own, somewhere, your own separate bank account without the other person can't have access to? I know it sounds like being suspicious and paranoid and all. But these days, when we're living in a world filled with narcissistic people, and how good these narcissistic people are, at at manipulating, somebody into a relationship, and then their true colors come out much later after they've taken over or whatever, or taken over the person's mind practically, or their money. That could happen. So it's really not trusting the person. It's just not being stupid. Okay, not being naive. It's not really the person. It's what society we live in these days here, at least here. So you see what I'm saying? It's not distrusting the person, but being careful. Be concerned about yourself. Now, someone said, well, would you let that other person know about it? Well, I would think, I can't give you any advice or anything, but I would think if you told that person they got through a hissy fit, or you told them from the start you're going to have your separate money, your separate this, because that's just how you were raised and that's how you believe, whatever it is, you just how you are, you don't have to lie about it. And that person throws a hissy fit, that's waving red flags, they're flashing neon signs. Yeah. But that's what I would say. Always have some money. Enough money to survive at least 6 months, a year. I know that's a lot of money. Some people, especially when you're first starting out, you might not have any money. But when you're first starting out, you also quite often, not always in any of this, have people like family you can go back to, or many of us know if you get in that kind of relationship, you might start looking back at your family and seeing some of them are that way too. Not always. But also, what if somebody's like during this pandemic now, this is why it's on my mind, you hear a lot of people are in domestic violence kind of situations, and there they are, they're, depending on where they are, there's some call it lockdown. I think those are the drama queens that call it lockdown. Lockdown is very different. Yeah, but stay home, stay safe, however you term it, where you are. But there they are. They're in that same household with someone who's narcissistic and who's abusing them, who's a toxic person, whatever it is. And I think for some, they might realize it during that time, during this kind of thing, pandemic, that the person they're with is that way. Some already knew it. And what are they going to do? How are they going to leave? That question comes up quite often. I've heard a lot of people talking about this. I've heard it on the news. What does a person do? It differs from place to place. How dangerous it can be whenever somebody does leave somebody like that. Yeah, so nobody has an answer across the board, because situation to situation, person to person is going to be somehow different, because no two people are alike. And no two situations are exactly the same. So, but yeah, I think that's another reason some people, need this. But like I said, even when these people find out, it can be dangerous. Anybody can be dangerous at any time. When they find out somebody has a nest egg, somebody has a plan B, somebody, knows where they're going to go if they have to leave. Yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to move on. I wanted to make this short video short, but there's another thing that I was thinking about, and that is people to practice self-care, to think more about themselves, not in a narcissistic way, but to think, be concerned about yourself. And another one was about once this happens, once you start to really, this person is seeing you. Let's go back to the beginning. This person is seeing you unlike how you see the relationship, unlike how you think of your relationship with them. You find out it's all fake. It's all fake. All false, all fake. That's going to be, my goodness, awful. An awful feeling that you have been conned, you've been fooled, you've been whatever. It's not your fault. It's theirs. And all that while, and now you have to see that the relationship you're in, they don't see it that way. That is not what you are to them. Now that's would be very difficult. And I think after a person starts to really, I'd say, have to be very brave and go through, realizing that all the rest was lies and all that, and then they start to gain some independence, and that's something I've done a video about, how they want to keep you dependent, but that's when you start to become that independent, and you start to see yourself for who you are outside of that relationship, because that relationship was fake. And how you see yourself as a person. And these are people who, when they see that you're doing that, oh my goodness, if they're afraid they're going to lose their staff, their free staff, they could be dangerous, like I said. Anyway, I was going to make this short, but brief. But yeah, that's something else that's on my mind. I'm making more than one video today, and I have a lot of notes, and I want to go through them and make little videos. And so if you want to join this channel to see more, click the circle icon that pops up, or you can watch one of the videos that pop up in a little rectangle, and I'll talk to you on another video.